All right. Very big hello to everyone who's tuning in to Tom's Talk Time. I'm joined this afternoon by the lead singer of Pinked. That's P-I-N-K-E-D.
Hey, Tom. How you going?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you so much for doing the interview.
You're most welcome. It's an absolute pleasure.
Great. I'm excited. So I've seen you perform at a few different events now. One of them was a bit of a family type gig. I think it was one of your first ones, and that was pretty cool. And then I've seen you at a couple of clubs and bars, and that was awesome. How's it going for you?
It has, well, since you first saw us, I think it was at the Bayswater concert, the Outdoor Family one. We'd only recently sort of launched a few months before that show, and since then it's just gone crazy. Things are absolutely crazy. So, you know, I've just actually put on our Facebook page today that we are now officially booked out until February of next year.
My goodness. Well, congratulations for that.
Thank you.
It must be pretty surreal. My God.
It is. It's very surreal, and it's not. I suppose I'm still trying to get used to it all because it's so different. Doing a tribute show is so very different to being in just a cover band. You know, you're in a cover band and you just sort of sing a load of random songs for the night and everyone has a good time. You pack up, you go home, and that's it. You're just a singer of XYZ band. But the Pink stuff it's just blown me away, just the reception and how sort of Perth has received the show. Really, really humbling is the only sort of phrase or words I suppose I can say in regards to that. It's been fantastic. I never in a million years would have thought we'd be as busy as we are. So
definitely.
Thank you, Perth.
That is so great. And so at the Bayswater show, it was a bit of a family type vibe, and you know, you were sort of getting used to the songs and you were great. But now, like last time I saw you, you were on fire and, you know, really just rocking it out just like Pink does. Do you think you're sort of settled now and you're used to sort of getting in the groove of Pink songs and you know exactly what they're all about?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, while we were sort of rehearsing the songs, obviously it's more about making sure you know the words and, you know, making sure you know the arrangements and whatnot. But now it's very much, I mean, I've always felt that Pink just sings my life anyway. Every time she's released a new song, I'm like, what? You've been listening in on my life? As I know the majority of Pink fans also, you know, can relate that way. But now it's just very much, you know, you get on stage, we have an absolute ball. And a lot of the people that come to our shows, I mean, we've been having sellout shows of, you know, 300 plus. But so many people have seen us, you know, and you get to recognise the faces. So it's, I'm a lot more comfortable, I think, on the stage and a lot more comfortable with the idea that I am paying tribute to an artist. I think rather than sort of thinking that I am pretending to be someone, it's more I'm understanding that I'm paying tribute to someone now. So yes, I am getting up on stage and I am dressing like Pink, and naturally I have that sort of Pink swagger. So that's not an act, as family and friends will tell you. So each show just gets sort of, I suppose, more
relaxed and more comfortable.
Yeah, more relaxed,
definitely.
Absolutely.
And that also, that's what Pink is like on stage as well. She's just takes it how it is, and she's just relaxed and she's just doing her thing, and it's not, you know, it's not structured and it's not, you know, unbelievably choreographed and scripted. It's just who she is, and I reckon that's, if you can pull off half of that, then, you know, you've pretty much got it. It's just, that's what people respond to most.
Exactly, yeah.
But just touching on what you said before about paying tribute and not being Pink, when I posted about the interview, and I'm sure you get this all the time, I had people send in messages and comments and unlike my page saying that Pink is still alive, and if you do the interview, you're really disrespectful, and I can't believe you would support a tribute artist and blah, blah, blah. You know how people carry on.
Yeah.
like, what do you say to that? Because basically my response, as you know, I run, as well as Tom's Talk Time, I have a couple of pink pages that I run. And whenever I say, you know, I'm going to a tribute show or I'm going to your show, and I get that type of feedback from people, I say, you know what? It's an excuse for me to go out and dance and sing and enjoy the night with like-minded, wonderful Pink fans singing my favourite songs. Like, it's not every night that I get to do that, so why not? You know, what do you say to that when people...
you know, there's been a little bit of, not negativity, probably shouldn't use that word, but yeah, I experienced this sort of like someone turned around and was like, nah, you know, it's not the same, it's not the real thing. And at first I was actually quite hurt by it, because I thought, well, gosh, I know that I'm not Pink, and I don't proclaim to be her, but then in the same breath, actually, yes, I do proclaim to be her, because I'm doing the tribute show. But at the same time, our booking agent, when we first sort of posted the idea to him, or, you know, approached him with the idea of doing the show, he said, you know what? He said, this is going to be amazing. He said, don't get too hung up on the fact that, you know, you're singing Pink and Pink songs and, you know, you're trying to be Pink. He said, put your own twist on it, put your own angle on it. And that's exactly what we've done. And I think for the most people that actually have come to a show, they would see that. They know that I don't, you know, I still talk as I do now. I swear a lot, but I swear a lot anyway.
Yeah.
And, you know, so to the people that have like a negativity towards it, oh my gosh, if I had the chance to go to another Pink concert, she came, I would absolutely go. And this is by no means is it an instead of or come and see me instead of Pink. It's not that at all. It's keeping that dream alive. I mean, I've had a lot of people come to our shows. Have one beautiful girl a few weeks ago came to one of our pub shows, and she was absolutely beside herself. She was crying, she was shaking, you know, she couldn't believe. It was beautiful. She couldn't believe that I'd let her have her photo taken with me. And I turned to her, I said, honey, I am not Pink. My name is Sabrina, and I am a tribute artist, and you need to understand that. Because she just lost it in a beautiful way. And she said to me, you know what? She said, I've got anxiety. I don't come out of the house. I've managed to get the courage to come out and see you. This is as close as I'll ever get to seeing a Pink concert, and I thank you for that. And that just blew me away. It was like, you know what? This is what it's about. It's about bringing joy to people's lives, and you know, I think we do the songs well, and I think, you know, most of the people walk away having had the time of their life, and whether or not they initially sort of think, oh, she doesn't look like Pink, or she doesn't sound like Pink, or whatever, I think by the end of the night, those people that have come in with maybe, you know, a little bit of negativity walk out absolutely pumped and you know, think, gosh, you know, that was a great night.
Definitely. And, you know, if you never get to do another show in your life, which, you know, touch wood you do, but that is what it's all about. You know, that moment between you and that young girl must be pretty special.
Oh, I'm so blessed, you know. It's like humbling, the amount of joy that you bring to people's lives. You know, it's not about the money. It's not about getting famous. It's not that. It's none of that. It's just, you know, seeing people sing along, and when you hold the mic out to the crowd and they know the words and they are screaming the words out, that's fantastic. And you think, wow, you know, then I sort of put myself in Pink's shoes and think, wow, if I'm feeling overwhelmed and humbled by this, what would she feel?
Artists, you know, because she writes pretty much all of her songs. So
exactly.
I can't imagine what that must be like, writing, you know, producing, recording, like, you know, pouring herself out into an album and then into all of her huge stadium shows and having 20,000, 25,000, 30,000 people a night scream the lyrics that have come out of her mouth. That, you know, that must be just incredible.
Absolutely.
And you are a relatively new band, as you were saying before. Tell me a little bit about how you came together.
So a couple of the guys, the bass player and the guitar player in the band, we were in a band previously. But normal band politics, bands break up and get together all the time. So we had a band break up. And Mark and Dave and I were sat having coffee one afternoon, and my hair had sort of been getting progressively shorter and blonder. And Mark turned around and he goes, "You know what?" He says, "You've got such an attitude." He goes, "You're so much like Pink." He goes, "And you're just such a rocker." He says, "Why don't we do a Pink tribute?" And I was like, I laughed at first. I was like, "Yeah, right, Mark, whatever." But then I was like, "Oh, okay," had to think about it. And he said, "Look, just have a think about it and we'll get together again in a few weeks and see what you reckon." So I did that. Still kind of thought, yeah, right, who's going to come to a Pink show? Like, that's a bit crazy. But thought, you know what, we've got nothing to lose. And we approached our booking agent that we've been using with the other band and sat down with him and discussed what we were thinking. And his response was just brilliant. He was like, yeah, this could be amazing if it's done properly. So we thought, okay, took his advice on board and went in and picked a load of songs and rehearsed the show for about 6 months before we felt confident to actually launch it. So yeah, it kind of was almost formed by accident.
That's so cool.
It wasn't it was really
That's
cool.
Great.
I mean, and I don't know if Mark hadn't have suggested it. I don't think, not in a million years, I don't have that much self-confidence, believe it or not, to sort of go, oh yeah, I want to go around town and pretend like I'm Pink. I was quite happy just doing the cover songs, thanks. And then at least, you're just a cover artist. People look at you differently. Whereas now it's like the pressure's on, because if you don't get it right, if you don't nail it, people either, like I've just said, people either walk away from your shows thinking that was amazing or, nah, that was pretty average, and then it's all over.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah.
No, and you do such a great job. So, and as long as you're having fun on stage, that's just all that matters, I reckon. And you're doing an awesome job of it.
It's good.
Have you been recognised in the street or approached by anyone thinking that you were actually Pink?
Oh, there's a couple of stories. More and more I get, especially with my job now. I sit in a display home for new builds and people come in, and I get people all the time going, "You're Pink, aren't you? Or do you sing in a band and are you Pink?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." It's kind of, it's okay at a show to be, "Oh, let me have your photo, That's great. I love that. But then when someone recognises you and you're just in your normal everyday clothes, that's kind of a bit like, oh gosh, wow, this is insane.
This is really happening. This is really happening.
Yeah, and then I think the most amazing story I've got is when Pink was actually here last year, we were rehearsing the Pink show at the time, and we went to the concert, a load of girlfriends and I, and a couple of my girlfriends, we were lining up to get our T-shirts for, from the show. Yeah. And some other girlfriends were stood out of the queue. I mean, the queue would have been, probably 20 wide and at least 10 people deep. So there were a lot of people waiting to buy merchandise. Anyway, my girlfriends, they started screaming and pointing, and I was turned around and you
oh my God.
Moles. Yeah, so they're like, oh my God, it's Pink, and they're running towards me, waving their tickets in the air, saying, will you sign it? And I was like, oh, what? And then everyone else around me turned around, they looked, and they were like, oh my God. And again, people were they were doing double takes because they really were not sure whether or not it was the real thing or not. And I was like, oh, you guys are terrible.
Yeah.
But, I was like, oh, so embarrassed. But again, from that, and we weren't even doing the Pink show then, even then, lining up, people were asking to have their photos taken with me. I was like, what? This is crazy. It's crazy.
Wow, so it's been around for a long time. That's just so cool.
Yeah, it's funny. It's cool. It is cool. Yeah.
And I reckon you've got probably the best sort of job in the world, because you know, all of these stars, they love their jobs, but they want their own privacy, understandably. But you get to go and lead a normal job, normal life during the day, and at night you transform into this superstar, and then you can go home and, you know, come back to Sabrina. That must be pretty cool.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, and it is. And I've said, you know, to a few people, like, you know, people say, oh, why don't you go on X Factor and why don't you do this? I'm like, you know what? That's not what I want. I don't want that instant fame. I'm quite happy being a weekend rock star. And really, for me at the moment, I have got the best of, you know, I've got the best life. You know, like you say, I can be, you know, normal mum and, you know, be a mum to my kids and be a good fiance and do my job and love the day job that I do. And then, you know, get up on stage on the weekend and have a great time and feel amazing that, you know, so many people had such a good time. I've been able to bring joy to people's lives. And, you know, even when I've been spotted out and people will approach me and want their photos taken just as a daily thing, I think to myself, there is no way on the planet I would actually want to be properly famous, because these poor people, like, I feel for Alicia and Kerry and little Willow, you know, because they must fight so hard for their privacy, you know, whereas time. Yeah, it must be horrible. Because people, and I've experienced it where, like, after a show, people want their photo taken with me, and that's great, but I'll say be talking to one person and someone will just come in and they just butt in and go and pull you away and oh no, I want my photo taken with you. And I kind of think, wow, this is on a really, really small scale. When you're actually a superstar like Pink is, what must her life be like? Like, I can understand why she tries to keep, you know, the photos of Willow as you know, you don't see a lot of her face. You don't exactly. No. Minimal is the word I'm looking for. You know, because that's the only way they're able to sort of live any kind of normal lifestyle. Yeah, definitely. And when I remember back when Willow was born, because, you know, there's been a few celebrities, Pink definitely one of them. She's got this thing about the paparazzi and her baby and her child, and she said, you know, I chose this lifestyle. Her husband, Kerry, he chose that lifestyle. They can put up with it. They don't like it. They don't like being stalked and followed and harassed every single where they go, every place they go. But I remember Pink actually wrote a bit of an essay and said, you know, don't do it to my daughter. She hasn't chosen this lifestyle, and you know, it's not fair. And I remember, you know, the beautiful portrait she released herself of her holding Willow, and just after she had her with Kerry, because I think, like, when they left the hospital, they had, you know, the first photo was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, but if she was to release, you know, the portrait of herself, it would just take away all that pressure. So she's quite clever about how she goes about it. But, you know, it is a pretty scary thing. Anyway, I do have a few people have sent in some questions from Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I've chosen 3 to ask you. Firstly, Julie from Facebook wants to know if Pink has ever made contact with the band, and if she does ever make contact with the band, what do you hope she says? Oh, my God. You know, I've been asked that before. No, she hasn't made contact with the band. Gosh, if she did, I just think I'd say, look, you know what, thank you for making such amazing music and touching so many people's lives. You know, as her being in existence, it's enabled me to continue on that joy that she, like, her songs, because they are her songs, they're not my songs, and I'm well aware of that. And if she did contact me or the band, hopefully it would be to say good job. I hope so. I'm sure she would. I'm sure she would. Yeah.
Zoe from Instagram wants to know what your favourite song to perform is and why.
Oh, I think my favourite song to perform would have to be True Love.
Oh, really? That's a cool one.
Yeah, I just love it. I love that song. It's probably I love so many of her songs, but I love doing True Love because it resonates so well with me and, with my partner. And, I think it's so true for anybody that's ever in love, like, I don't think anybody goes through life just thinking, oh, I just love you so much all the time. You're just so wonderful. Because I always, thinking, God, you're an asshole, but I love you and I just want to strangle you. And I know that I want
to give you a hug.
Exactly, at the same time.
I want to give you a hug at the same time. Yeah, lyrically, I think that's one of her best songs. Like, she's got Leave Me Alone, I'm Lonely is a song, I think. How can you capture that, just that thought process? How can you capture that so perfectly? And then True Love as well. Perfect. I think it applies to a lot of things, a lot of different situations. I'll have to look out for that one when you perform it next. And part 2 of her question is, if you got the chance to ask Pink a question, what would you ask her?
I think I would ask her what her biggest fear was. Like, was it failing? Like, did she ever think she was going to fail? Is she ever afraid that when she releases a song that people won't buy it or won't won't receive it well? I'd want to know that. I'd want to know the real sort of the nitty-gritties, I think.
Underneath all of it,
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting.
Well, I think we all feel like we know her pretty well from the songs that she writes, but obviously there are still fears and other underlying things there that drives all of that. And I suppose it just would be for my own selfish gain, because then I could go, oh my God, we're like so the same.
Yeah, definitely. And another one, Pink's Willow Tree. That's an awesome, beautiful name, Pink's Willow Tree. I love that name on Instagram. Yeah. She wants to know how long, or have you been a fan of Pink for a very long time?
Oh my God, Now, I have been a Pink fan since, like, the Misunderstood days when she was doing Get the Party Started and There You Go and all those sorts of things. And she's actually a little bit older than me, so we're the same age. She just turned 35 and I turned 35 in March.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so that I have always been a fan. I've not been, like, some of our followers are just such amazing Pink fans, and I think, wow, gosh, some of our followers just know her so well. I haven't been like that, but yes, I've always been a Pink fan. I've been to 3 of her concerts, and every time just been in awe and just walked out going, oh my God, that woman is just amazing. And watched the documentaries and sort of thought to myself, wow, she came from she went to such a dark place and she's come out just with...
on top. She really has come out on top. And
she's absolutely come out on top.
It's so rewarding. I don't know if you've seen much of what she's recently announced, but she's sort of teamed up and she's doing a beautiful acoustic arrangement dropping in October. And You Plus Me is going to be her new sort of thing for a little while. And I think listening to those beautiful acoustic songs, and as an avid Pink fan and as someone who's sort of grown through it all with her, I can't help but smile. And it really makes my heart warm when I think, we've seen her so angry at the world and so frustrated at her own life and society as a whole, and for her to transform and to now sit there and say, I'm in a happy place, I'm a wonderful mum, I've got a fantastic career that she's built herself, and to see her do this, I think this next level of her career is just going to be so rewarding, and she's so deserving of it.
Absolutely. I think I'm really excited. I downloaded the first song, a sneak peek from the new album, And I just loved it. I was like, oh, she's grown up. She's all grown up. You know, it's like she's, you know, we go through those crazy times. And I think for most of her followers that are sort of around this, you know, similar sort of age group, that sort of late 20s, early 30s or mid 30s now, I think her fans have also evolved with her. And I just love it. I love it that she's mum. I love it that she's talking about, you know, motherhood and you know, being a family and how your life changes and basically just calming down.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely. I know she's just she's crazy, but we love her.
Yeah.
And it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you and to see your bands grow and develop. And the next time I'm going to see you is on my birthday at the Civic Hotel.
Oh.
I've got tickets and I'm bringing along all my friends, whether they're Pink fans or not. And I can't wait. What an awesome birthday present to be there singing those songs at the top of my lungs. I can't wait.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Tom. I've had an absolute ball today. It's been brilliant. I thought I was going to be really nervous and like,
oh really? No.
So, yeah. No. But no, that's awesome. Can't wait to see you on Sunday, on the Sunday the 28th.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait. Thank you so much, and we'll chat soon.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.